Isaac.
It's time for the KickCast.
Ooh. All right, we're out of ideas. Okay, so
This episode of the KickCast.
so in this episode, there are two ways we talk about controlling the world. Well,
Dose.
okay, maybe at least your smartphone. 8-bit goes HD, and who cares about 48 frames per second? We all care about 360 degrees. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody! Guess what? It's time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast that covers crowdfunding projects. And joining me is, as always, is the one and only Isaac. How you doing, Isaac?
Awesome.
Are you
Totally
sure?
awesome.
Are you sure you're doing awesome?
Amazingly awesome.
Amazingly awesome. On
Crazy awesome. How are you doing?
Busy. Crazy weeks. You know,
I'm crazy busy too.
The holidays are coming in, and everybody's just like, let's get this done before the new year and all the holidays and everything come up. So
Gotta love those holidays.
if you guys have
This is the time of
never-
year.
yeah. But for all you guys, maybe you're on holiday right now. This is the KickCast, and what Isaac and I do is we go look at crowdfunding sites like Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and we try to find really cool or useful projects that catch our eyes, and we tell you either we back, sack, or track, or sack it. I almost said it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't done this before.
Sack, track, backtrack, sack, back.
I've been thinking about Santa Claus, that's why.
Yeah.
Him bringing goodies to all of us.
I'm going to back all of his goodies that he brings to me.
All right, so how about we kind of go into our first project, speaking of goodies. I know that your Android phone is kind of on its last legs right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Especially when you grabbed your DS instead of your Android.
I was like, this is what, right?
yeah.
Am I doing this right?
Ooh.
Want this.
Ooh, yeah. Dual screen. But, you know, phones have kind of evolved. It's not just for making phone calls anymore. People love to play games on them, use them for email. You know, it's kind of
Pretty much what they do, like
yeah.
30 to 50% of the time, right?
Our main thing. And then my problem with a lot of these devices is that they'll have the stupid on-screen controls, so you got to
Your
put
thumbs
your
get in the way
on
of the car. You can't
Yeah.
see the turn,
And
whatever.
I don't have that big of thumbs, but it doesn't feel right either because you're just moving on glass instead of analog sticks or having physical buttons, getting that tactile feedback that you really can't get from a glass surface. And that's where our first project comes in right here, and it's called the PlayJoy or PhoneJoy.
PhoneJoy.
Mistake. And it's actually a adjustable Bluetooth controller. It comes in Bluetooth 3.0, and it actually has a wireless range up to 30 feet right there. It can last more than 20 hours per charge, has 14 programmable buttons, 2 pressure-sensitive analog sticks, 3 LEDs. You can't have enough LEDs in the world, so more LEDs, the merrier. And it also this is what I like about it. It supports iOS, Android, Mac OS 10, and Linux and Windows on top of that. And the way you can do that is it comes with 4 user modes. You can use the HID controller mode or the HID keyboard mode, which would be for your Windows, Android, and Mac OS 10.
Yeah, so it's pretty versatile in its compatibility.
For your iOS, it comes in as the iCade, which is another helpful thing right there. Because if you've ever seen the iCade, we actually had it on an episode before.
Yeah, we did.
We
were playing Temple Run on the iCade at the beginning.
That's the device where you can actually plug in your iPad and use it as a arcade controller. So it uses that. So that means any app that's iCade compatible is compatible with this, which opens up a very large base of games, which is important when you're getting devices like this because I know there's some devices you only can use specific apps for, but this kind of gives it a sort of pseudo standard that the iCade has kind of set up on there.
Yeah.
And it also does mouse emulation. So with that, it gives you a compatibility of 300 games there. And if you look at the main screen over here, you can see it folds up into a compact way, so you don't have to have it fully stretched out. So if you're using it on the PC and stuff, I doubt you want to pull it out all the way that way.
That's cool. And if you're like mirroring your iPhone or iPad to your TV, you can collapse it in and just use it as a controller. So instead of just hooking the screen directly in the middle of it. I like that. That's kind of cool. The chat room was saying, what's the difference between that and a getting a PS3 controller, but
Well, getting a PS3 controller, you're carrying around a PS3 controller. This is kind of meant to be a little bit more compact, and it's a little awkward, especially when you're using your phone, because then you got to find a spot to put your phone on a stand or something, and then have the PS3 controller. This is more compact on the go, and you can put the phone integrated. So
yeah, that's cool.
It gives it more of a PSP form factor and everything. But that kind of gives me a drawback with this is since it's not kind of like a case or anything. You have to carry around two things.
Yeah, and I mean it's not super big, but it's
Yeah.
not very small.
Yeah.
You know.
At that point, I'm kind of like, maybe I should just go get bring my PSP, a dedicated gaming system or a DS already, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I still have tons of those that we can do.
It's trying to fuse these two universes between like mobile gaming and like console gaming almost.
So
collapses and you can play it on your TV, but
that's a little slight drawback for me. But I also like that they actually give you optional case options on here because I honestly wouldn't want to stick this just into my pocket. Stuff you could break something, so they have optional.
and all the buttons are on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it folds up like a shell and then reveals all the controls. Yeah.
It kind of they have some pretty nice cases. If you scroll down, you can see they have a mock-up of it where it's kind of like a bag. If you can pull it up.
Yeah, we'll
keep
grab
going
that.
down all the way. It's like all the way at the bottom of the page. All right, we're right there. So there's a concept of the case right there. There's one of them. So it's kind of a padded case, but if you go down a little bit more, you can actually see this really cool wood one right there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
What is that? What is it? Oh.
Ooh, that's how you can impress your friends and everything on there. All right, Isaac. So
okay.
Truth be told, back, track, or sack?
I'm gonna track it. I'm not gonna back it.
I'm gonna say back. And if you actually look at the page right now, looking at the page right there, you can see they're fairly close to getting to their goal, and they still have 20 more days to go.
Yeah, we should mention. So for one of these controllers, it's $60. The $50 ones are sold out. So 118.86 left. $60 for this controller.
Yeah, $60 to $70.
659 backers, 38,000 with a goal of 50,000. I think they'll make their goal probably.
Yeah. And so if you guys have input, I see Rev in the chat room right now. He's saying he's sacking it. So you can always come to watch us live at live.kickcast.net or send us some feedback, kickcast@ktdata.net. Tell us why, I don't agree with you, why I rather sack this or I rather track this,
Yeah.
Or you just totally missed the point on why you have this controller at all.
Yeah.
That is that. So, but we're not done with gaming
Let's
yet.
draw some contrast here.
So this requires a battery and everything to pull on it.
Yeah, Bluetooth,
but
doesn't have a case.
So,
it's a little bit bulky.
Kind of go to the opposite of it, and that's what we call the win case. So, Isaac,
the win case.
Tell everybody what the win case is.
Yeah, so when we were looking at these projects, actually, I found this, and then Kevin found that other one to draw some contrast. So the win case, let me give you some breakdown on it. Essentially, it's basically like a phone case, and it uses those static little buttons that actually go onto the screen. So this is a phone case that lays over top of your phone, and then it also can clip onto the back if you want to just pull up that image there of it real quick. And then it has buttons on each side. It allows your home screen button and your speaker to still work, and it actually uses the sensors directly onto the screen. So you're actually going to lose some of your aspect ratio. Looking through the comments of this project, some people brought up some good points. How many pixels is it going to take away? Can I pull down my status bar with that case in the way? And they actually didn't really answer those questions in their frequently asked questions forum spot. But so this solves kind of a few problems, I think, than the Phone Joy. First of all, it doesn't use batteries or Bluetooth. Second of all, it kind of is a little bit more mobile. It will strap to the back as a phone case. So it kind of solves a few problems there, but I think it also creates some problems as well.
Yeah, part of the issue I actually have with this is that I don't know if it's a prototype issue or if the final product's going to be like this, but if you look at it, it looks a little bit flimsy on there.
Yeah, and it looks kind of bulky. Like if you look how it clips on, Where's the phone? It like hangs over the side of the phone.
And
Like,
so
I
so
want it to
yeah,
fit
that's
like a flush case.
That's the issue with it, because that's for an iPhone 4. They're
Yeah.
trying to make it fit all the form factors, and if you know, the iPhone 5, Apple decided to elongate it a little
Yeah.
bit more
Yeah.
in that case. So
So on their thing, they said they were going to try to make different ones for the different phones, but I don't know if they have that yet.
Yeah.
So like you said, the iPhone 5 has that longer screen, so maybe actually you wouldn't notice it as much because it would cut off just a few more pixels.
I have a feeling that it's set to fit the iPhone 5,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they made it work for all the other ones, but I could be wrong about that.
And another limitation is the games that it's going to work with. So, I mean, this isn't like, it doesn't use Bluetooth, so it's using the screen as the input.
So, like, unlike the other one where you could actually use the iKid controls on there, and that gives you already a lot of games. Because for my iKid, there's a lot of games out there that you can get it working. So that means that control is working. This one, is kind of a brand new kind of concept on there. So they're trying to get a lot more people on there. And my issue with a lot of these cases and everything is that it's not universal for all devices. Like this one is only for current iOS devices.
Yeah.
On there, and
so I think it's a really cool idea. Like I like the idea of them trying to make it a phone case and making it more mobile, so you can just pop it around. But the execution's still not there, and I don't really know how you get around that problem without making it like a Bluetooth phone case or something like that.
And then that probably would add even a little bit more bulk onto this.
Yeah.
So Isaac, back, track, or sack?
So I'm gonna sack this one. It seems like on both ones, the execution isn't there enough for it to really appeal to me.
Yeah, I'd have to say sack on this one too. It just seems it has a good concept and an idea, but the things that you have to give up for it to work are a little bit over the edge for me.
Yeah. So they have a goal of 80,000. Let's keep in mind the play what was it called, the Phone Joy. Had 50,000. They only have $7,825. 174 backers. Half the price though, $30 for this.
Yeah. Have you noticed this is a really super interesting time for these products, because more and more we're carrying less PSPs and Nintendo DSs around, and we're just carrying our phone, and that's becoming more of a gaming device. I mean, some people have tried to solve this before for people who don't own smartphones. Remember the MG? That we had in one of our beta episodes there. And we saw a huge backlash against people. People were pulling out their pledges near the end of it.
Oh yeah, people were totally revolting.
They were like, it's too expensive and everything. So it looks like now everybody's kind of shifting more towards accessories for the phone. But I really haven't found anything where it's it's not as robust as I would like it to be.
Yeah, seems like it'll take some time to get there. But this is where it's moving. You can see this trend.
Just from the trends, you just see all these cases and these different controllers coming out. I know in the market there's tons of controllers coming out this holiday season for this kind of similar thing right there.
Yeah.
So let's kind of keep going on our gaming idea to our next project, I should say, called Unchipped, if that's the right one. Yes. So Unchipped is a Nintendo tribute album, and you're like, oh, not another Nintendo tribute album. But this guy's aim is a little bit different from what you kind of expect. A lot of games or remix CDs and stuff you get, especially when they're electronic, they're total remixes. So they use samples from the original game or kind of use it as an inspiration. This guy's idea of making this tribute album is not to totally change the song and how it's interpreted. It's to modernize the song a little bit, because we're not living in the age where we only have so much memory, so we got to make these bits and bytes of it on there. And I actually have a sample of one of the songs, so you can kind of understand.
Cue it up.
It's really hard to understand until you actually can hear it. So here is actually some of it. So this is the original, straight off the game cartridge.
Yeah.
Remember
so
when
draw some contrast. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then if you give it a second, it's going to pop into his version. Right there. So you can kind of tell there's a little bit difference. There's a lot more depth and everything. But you still get that original feel of the song.
You get the original feel, but it adds that extra layer into it.
Oops. Sorry about that.
8-bit.
That was-
What was that?
That was definitely not 8-bit.
What game was that from?
Yeah.
Contra? What was that?
On
What
there.
level was that?
But so that kind of gives you a little bit of idea on what he does. And right now he has some video games that he's thinking of doing. So 8 Eyes, Bionic Commando, Ghost and Goblins, The Immortal, Legacy of the Wizard, The Legend of Zelda 2, Ryagar, I never could say that right, and Solomon's Key on there. So, but he's still looking for different ones. And there's actually 2 Kickstarter levels that you can actually put down where
We got
you
the
can-
15 and 25. There's even a 45.
Actually, no, it's actually in the 100 and
150
range.
There it is.
you can actually pick an NES song that you want him to remix.
That is so cool.
I know. You could
Battletoads.
everybody loves Battletoads, right? So you can actually do that for those levels right there. And really, like if you think about it, if anybody did an HD remaster of some of these classic games, I totally would expect that kind of music on
It'd
there.
be awesome. You could play it while you were gaming. Your gaming album. I like this project a lot.
Yeah. And the thing is,
He only
he's
has 11 backers though.
Yeah, he's barely launched it. I think he's only maybe a
Like
couple days in.
Yeah, like 4 days.
But what I really like about it is he's not asking for $50,000 or something. He's only asking for $4,000 right there, which I think is a pretty modest amount. And if we've looked at Kickstarter trends, we know that for the smaller the amount that you're asking for, the higher the chance of having a successful project
Yeah.
to get funded on here. And I really would love to see this, and see.
I would like to see it too.
And then
Gets to fruition.
What's interesting is I want to see if anybody bids on those higher level ones and see what games they're picking.
Yeah, I
'cause
don't think
everybody-
anyone snatched those up yet.
Everybody has their favorite Nintendo game from the back in the day. Like I wouldn't mind hearing like the Duck Hunt.
That
song
would
or
be
something,
so cool.
Pick some, even pick some of the more obscure NES games back in the day. So,
I'm gonna back it. I think it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely backing it, just because I think this is a cool idea, and it's a little bit different on what we kind of see in remixing and everything on there.
Yeah.
So now we've talked about a project that will help fill your ears. How about we go into another sense of your eyes, and that's where the sphere cam comes in. So Isaac, tell everybody what a sphere cam is.
So when I was doing some research on these this is expensive. Kevin's a camera geek and he can explain more.
Ooh, cameras. We like cameras. Many cameras.
So this spheric cam, it's a surround sound. I mean,
Surround sound. man.
surround.
How do you do that with audio?
It's the world's first affordable GPS-enabled live internet streaming 360 video camera. Some of the specs on it is the lens type is there's 4 fisheye lenses on this globe sphere. If I can pull up it, there we are. There's 4 fisheye lenses on this globe sphere with 170-degree field view. The monitor, it stands on this box, and it's a 4.3 LCD screen, so it's kind of like a phone screen almost. Recording media has a SD card slot up to 32 gigs. Recording capacity is 17 hours, 32 gigabytes on the SD card there. Battery life, it uses a 2200 milliamp battery. I mean, it's just kind of like a phone battery with an internal charger, or you can plug it in. There's a 12-volt power adapter. 3 hours of recording time with LCD turned off per charge. 1 to 2 hours recording time with LCD turned on. So now it's $600, $599 for this camera if you get it early, and then it goes up to, after 20 are purchased, then it goes up to $975.
So I actually, what I like about it is that it actually stitches the
fisheye
videos together,
images
so you
together.
don't have to kind of do that manually.
Cool. We
It
should
comes
pull
with
up
the
a shot
software to
of
do that,
Yeah.
which is so it gives you that weird 360-degree view and everything. But the one thing that I just barely noticed now when you were reading the resolutions is that this isn't going to be a HD
No,
video
it's
at
not.
all. You could probably get away with 720 maybe if you start cropping things, but at 1280 by 1024.
Yeah, you should look at the
Yeah,
video though.
so-
The stitching is kind of clean though. I
Yeah.
mean, it looks pretty good. He's walking around with this camera.
But what I do like about it is the built-in turnkey streaming. You literally just got to plug it in and you're ready to go.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's cool. And like you said, I mean, I was looking at some of these other cameras that do these 360 views, and I mean, they're a few $1,000s for like
Yeah.
an
So,
entry level one.
Yeah, so for what he's asking, I think it's actually a fairly good idea, and it's also simple to use because there's only 2 buttons on there.
Yeah,
To be
it's
honest with you.
very, very friendly, and it has a GPS enabled tag too, so that's kind of cool. You can like walk around with it, and it can show your movements, almost like Google with their cars that they're driving around with.
Or like somebody carrying it around in a backpack if they're trying to go skiing. Have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
That's how they actually get like the mountain slopes and stuff. They'll either go on a sled or they'll have somebody like carrying a backpack behind them while they're walking along.
Oh, that is awesome. They can hire me. I'll carry a camera wherever I go.
Google?
Yeah, so what are you thinking, Kevin? You're a camera geek. Give us the connoisseur it for us.
Well, if you're
Backtracker sack.
for an entry level one or entry level, I had a camera on here that does something like this, where you don't have to stitch anything together or
Yeah.
put or hodgepodge a whole bunch of cameras. It's already taken care of you for this. I think this is actually a pretty good idea at a pretty good price for an entry level device on there. So for me, I have to say back on this one.
Yeah, so I would agree, like, for what they're trying to do, I would definitely back. And you'd think, like, well, what is the market for this? Any camera geek, but also, I mean, you could set him up in just any, like, a restaurant or an area. This is, like, business owners could use this in lots of different applications, just for surveillance or even just a hobbyist.
I know. Why in the world did I build all this crap for the KickCast? We could have just gotten one of these.
Yeah,
stuck
we
that
could
in
just
the middle. And
we could just pad
sat
around.
there and had the fisheye view. It's all artsy, right?
Okay, well, we'll get it when you back it.
All right, so that's actually the last of all our projects right here. We try to keep this show down to half an hour. Usually we go under.
Yeah.
There, but if you guys actually have any projects that you want us to cover, please send us feedback. We're on Facebook. You just search for KickCast, facebook.com/KickCast. We're on Twitter @KickCast. We're on Google+, plus.kickcast.net. You email us, kickcast@ktdata.net. We try to be accessible anywhere for this show. So if you want to send us a project for us to consider, well, we always do. Sometimes they don't make it to the show. I know Isaac and we cut probably 6 projects that we thought
and
could
we
be
post
potential,
those too if
yeah.
you want to see what projects we were thinking about looking at, but we didn't. You can look those up.
And then for all of you guys who are watching after the fact, come watch us live. Our next live episode is actually December 27th, 2012. So it's going to be, oops, that's not right.
It's going to be the post-Christmas hangover KickCast special episode.
Extravaganza. On there. That will be our last one of the year, and it's going to be really interesting because who knows? KickCast, it's been around for a couple years, but
Yeah.
I think honestly 2012 was the year that Kickstarter
Kickstarter was started. I mean, it was
Yeah.
known.
like
And
it
we actually
started
have a few
seeing the news.
projects coming in
Yeah.
too. I think a few of them are shipping, so
Yeah,
we can
you-
do some
You're
follow-up reviews.
You're finally getting your stupid iPad stand.
Yeah, stupid iPad
yeah.
stand. A stupid cover.
I'm just telling you the
I'm gonna
truth.
get my bandit gun.
I worry you're gonna like hide it behind the iPad stand. and just,
This episode on the KickCast, Kevin gets it.
stuff like that. But yeah, come watch live.kickcast.net. There's a chat room down there, and people either are making fun of us or talking about the projects we have in there.
Yeah.
We do read the chat room at the same time, and that's why Isaac has the Chromebook in front of him. So he's just sitting there and
Yeah,
being like,
checking out
why
people
are they
saying
being so mean?
it's I don't know.
but so
Definitely.
Isaac, I always swear the time goes by extremely quick when you're doing this because
Yeah, we always look at after. It was
It's
like,
always
was
like-
that 30, 15 minutes? I don't know.
I know I'm like, man, it's like, but that's the time. So we will
Yeah.
see you all in 2 weeks, and everybody have a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday festive
observe, yes.
whatever. Just go
But
out,
just be
have
merrying.
fun, and yeah, back some projects while you're at it too. all right?
Cool.
So see you guys.
See ya. Yeah, we're way too quiet. Oh, I'll get 9,000%. I'll get 9,000 or 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Is that better?